Hello, YouTube. Hello, McDowell. Hello, Rick Pill. This is Rick Pill in the Wind. You know, and I think a lot of men and women should stop screwing. I mean, look here. Here's a disclaimer. I hope I'm wrong. I pray that I'm wrong. I beg in every entity that I am wrong. Because if I am right, there's a problem. A huge problem. Now, this is only from a witnessing one account. You know, if you really follow the paper trail, it begins to make sense. If you follow the paper trail and you understand just enough how government gets their money, you understand that they only get their money when people are being born and they grow up to become a young adult, to become adults, and they start paying taxes. You know, they only get their money is if people are born and they grow up to become young adults. Now, people in the United States, this is only speculation, but from what I'm hearing, there's a lot of people in the United States that are leaving the United States. What does that mean? It means dollars are leaving the United States. Money is leaving the United States. Why is money leaving the United States? That's a good question. Let's follow, but that's beside the point. Let's follow the paper trail. Let's follow logistics and the paper trail. See, logistics. Schools, all year long for the past 4 years, 4 or 5 plus years, schools were getting shut up left, right, and center. And the person that was shooting the schools up is not seen as a terrorist. But yet, one man gets shot by another. That man is being tried in being a terrorist. Let's follow the logistics of that. Let's do some reverse engineering. The CEO of United Healthcare has basically made policies to line his pockets, to make sure that he can line his pockets. Well, what had happened was he got iced. He got put out of service permanently. Got put out of service permanently. He got put out of service permanently. So, like I said, if I'm wrong, I hope I'm not. I pray I'm not. If I'm wrong, there's a big problem. Now, with that being said, got put out of service permanently. Now, let's follow the speculative paper trail. Now, how does one person who was never a part of the government in any way, shape, or fashion render another person a terrorist? Well, let's answer that question. Let's answer that question. Somebody was greasing the pockets, the palms of certain politicians. Somebody was greasing the palms of politicians. Why is your medicine so expensive? If you look at your price tag of your medications, of the longest serving medication, epinephrine, insulin, you'll see that they are expensive. They'll make stories that it's so hard to produce insulin, or they'll make stories of so hard to produce epinephrine. But you go overseas to certain countries, it's not that expensive. Why is that? If you go overseas and the medication isn't that expensive, why? The question is why? Now, you get back to what got over to Canada, medicine's not expensive. Go over to Mexico, medicine's not that expensive. Only in somewhat the United States, where life-saving medication is expensive. Life-saving procedures cost you one arm, one leg, and an inch off your Johnson, or one fallopian tube and one test tube. Huh. And your firstborn child? Huh. That's strange. That is strange. Don't you find that strange? Don't you find that kind of disturbing? Don't you find that odd? In the least sense. Nobody finds that odd. Nobody's asking the correct questions when it comes to why is this medication so expensive? Let's follow the paper trail. Now, in the DC debacle, I got access to certain things, to see certain things that a lot of people don't really understand. A lot of people don't see. Somebody in that garage drives a Maserati. Somebody in that garage drives a Bugatti. Somebody in that garage drives some pretty expensive cars. Somebody in that garage has their pockets greased and is getting paid a lot of money. How do you get that much money? How are you worth that much money on a senator's salary? How are you worth that much money on a governor's salary? How are you worth that much money on a mayor's salary? Somebody is greasing somebody's palms. Somebody, it's not lobbying, it's bribery. People, it's not lobbying, it's bribery. Because if we were to do it, we would be charged federally. And the worst part about it is we know it's happening. And only one person has had the audacity to do something. You know what's crazy? They don't know, these people, I hope I'm wrong about what I say, but if I'm right, there's a problem. Because if I'm right, there's a big problem. It's not lobbying, it's bribery. Because if we were to do it, we'd be charged with bribery. Why aren't these CEOs getting charged with bribery? Or is it because of the fact that there's nobody to arrest these senators? There's nobody to arrest these congressmen and women. There's nobody to arrest these mayors, these freaking representatives. I don't know. Maybe it should be a trial by the people. I'm going to have to look that up. Because if this country was for the people, by the people, then why aren't the people doing anything to hold these people accountable? Hold these senators accountable. Hold these congressmen accountable. Hold these representatives accountable. You see the thing is here? People are, you see the problem? I understand why people are leaving the United States, but the thing is that the problem's not going to stop. So what the citizens' duty is to make sure you hold your congressman and woman accountable. You got to hold these people accountable for their actions. You've got to hold. You pay your taxes. So, why is it that these roads across the United States are terrible? Why is it that the emergency service workers, why is it the EMS are not only getting penalized, but they're underpaid? Why is it that the EMS workers are not only penalized, but underpaid? Why is it that you have to close firehouses and other firehouses have to take up the slack because of the firehouses had to be closed? That is a good question. The reason is gunshots is because there's a police firing range back that way. Now, explain it to me. That is a good question. Why don't we run the paper trail? Each vial of insulin costs a buku bucks, and there's billions upon billions of diabetics, right? Billions upon billions of people with nut, shellfish, wheat, fish, yada 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 type allergy. And they're making a buku boats of bucks from that. Oh wait, but it doesn't just stop at the medical industry. How in the world does it cost a house to go to college? Why in the world is Pitt University buying up neighborhoods? That's just the start. That's just the start of it. See, the thing is like, how much does college tuition cost per student? So college tuition costs this much, and not every student is going to get the job in their field. It ends up as a barista. This is the reason why why people in the manosphere have said college is a joke. American college is a joke. You know, the thing is, they want to make college inaccessible to regular citizens. Because if you go overseas to Germany, college is affordable. You go over to other countries, certain countries, college is affordable. Why is college affordable in other countries and not in the United States? You know, honestly, to be honest with you, if you really think about it, you look at the education system, you know it. You begin to think maybe they don't want to cultivate geniuses. They want to continuously import geniuses from other countries. Think about it. Think about it. Japan is rigorously teaching their children life skills such as cooking, clean. They cook their own food for the students. They clean their schools. The students are taught to clean their schools in their traditional fashion. They're taught how to cook. Many of them are taught how to mend their own clothes. Basic life skills. Same in China. Both Japan and China teaches physical fitness. In school, you look at the orchestra of your city, whether it be the Sydney Orchestra, the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra, the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, or whatever. I want you to observe the faces of those orchestra, or those people playing those instruments. I know I haven't seen very many black people in orchestras. And those are the people that can afford suits and dresses. That's the question you gotta ask. How are they? How is it? You know, how is it that they can afford those dresses? How is it that they can play those instruments? Because they were practicing at a young age. They were practicing those instruments at a young age. When have you seen a modern American artist pick up a guitar? When was the last time you seen, okay, and if it's recently, how many actually do? When was the last time you seen an American musician pick up a saxophone, pick up a trumpet, a trombone, a slide trombone, a tuba, a sousaphone, xylophone, bells? When was the last time you've seen anybody compose something on a piano or a keyboard? That is a good question. That is a valid question. So I think we should be asking these questions as to what are they teaching your children? And how are you raising your children to learn? See, the thing is like how you raise your children to learn will determine on whether or not other children are capable of learning. That's what you don't understand. Our parents whooped our behind. Yes, I will admit I got my behind whooped as a kid. But the thing is like, by being the gentle parent, you're causing problems for the rest of the world. See, the thing is, America has maybe a couple hundred countries that they can flash their passport and get access to, and dropping. Why? Because we are some of the most uneducated, ignorant people in the world. You practically have to denounce your citizenship to get access to a country. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse before it gets any better. I want you to ask yourself a question. Talk to those of you who have children. Ask your children, are you able to learn? Do you want to learn? That's the question you really need to ask. Do you want to learn? Because guess what? They're going to get pushed through anyway. Because the No Child Left Behind policy. They're going to get pushed through anyway. Because of George W. Bush's No Child Left Behind policy. It is so that you cannot cultivate any more geniuses in America. They want their geniuses imported. When all they have to do is figure out what other countries are doing. But the thing is what they don't understand, that the system that they're pulling out right now isn't working. And I'm gonna address this in a live later on a New Year. But hey, this is Red Pill in the Wind signing off.